China, persuasion is usually more on the softer side. It's not like, oh, I'm right, you are wrong, and more gentler in delivery, and hopefully that might go over a little bit better than somebody else. I'm trying to do that.
So, Fred, maybe.
You can talk about the budgets and hours or doomsday, but the average person, they don't care about the budget.
The one thing that the Democrats are very good at is using stories. They always have the sad story, so and so driven out their house and they cannot afford rent, blah blah blah. We also need to use stories. For example, small businesses that are being driven into bankruptcy by lawyers, by laws and regulations that are really not necessary. So we also need to use stories, actual personal stories.
Good point.
And don't just talk about the numbers. Say, this is bad. Well, let's relate that to an actual story, and put yourself in his shoes. For example, I always say in the affirmative action, let's say you are actually a youth restaurant. Let's say I work for my father's restaurant. I work very hard, and at my spare time I choose to study, and I do well in school, and then I go get admitted to UC or whatever Berkeley or Davis. Not because my father or my mother is Chinese. They would not accept me. Now, is that fair? Is that American? America is about individual achievement, individual responsibility. So you're saying that just because your mother or your father is from X country or Y continent, and you cannot get into UC, that's just not American. So that's are the things that we don't talk enough about. Maybe we can, like you said, using soft sell to be the smiling person offering solutions, not someone who's pounding on tables and saying, you are all wrong. I mean, that is not the whole world.
But I think probably the best thing is we educate people. We have meetings a lot. We let people know what is a Republican core value. We don't know that. So every people, Republican, that's for Caucasian, for rich Caucasian. So that's their party. We are immigrant. Democrat is protecting us. They are only for the rich people. So that's really, really misconcept.
Right. It's a very good marketing campaign.
Very good marketing, right.
That they have, like you said, simple messages. We are the nice people, and they are the mean people.
Right.
My mother and father came from Ireland. We were not born there. They came from a little boat from Ireland. But as soon as they got off the boat, there were Democrats waiting for them to give them a turkey or to give them $10 or to immediately ingratiate themselves. So next time there was a vote coming out, they're going to vote for it.
Yes. Well, it's very successful. They're still working on that. So anyway.
How can we do, we have to do something really approachable way or similar. You just let people know what, our part. So Fred is always saying, we have to go. What are you going to do this election? What can you do in church?
No, civics. They used to teach civics in high school. Do they still teach civics?
They do still teach civics, usually about the government structure, democratic principles and things like that. They still have that. Now, unfortunately, right now, if you're looking at some of the newer Common Core education materials, they actually said, they actually have Obama, kind of like China. They say Obama president always don't lie. They are always honest.
Teaching civics in adult school,
they are not required. They are not required, but if you want to get a degree, let's say you want to get an AA degree, they will have a few classes that you're required to take in civics. But if you're just going there to have an accounting class or get a certificate in computer web design, then you're not required to take civics. So there is a lot of misconception. Even people who are in the news media, sometimes I talk to them and they said, you need to run for an office. Are you required to, do you have any kind of requirements? No, actually, you just have to be a voter, and then you can participate. People sometimes say, you have to have that kind of experience before you can run for office. No, actually, anyone can run for president, just about today.
The ability to lead has come out.
Yes.
Think on your feet.
Yes.
Analyze, come up with
solutions,
and learn how to debate.
Right.
It's very,
So see,
If-
you see so many Chinese with fluent English right now.
If there was some way for some Chinese people to be waiting at the boat when the Chinese came, same as my mother and father, some Chinese people waiting, wherever the Chinese are first coming into this country, they're brand new, they just landed, they don't know.
Well, that's what Esther
Yeah.
is doing because she's
Only-
trying to do the Restaurateurs Association. So people right now they arrive by plane. They say, you know what? I bring a little bit of saving to this country. I want to start my own business, something that they're usually familiar with is restaurants or something other kind of service industry. And we need to help them and say, look, this is how you can get your business started. That's how the forms to make sure you don't get sued by lawyers. And together we can not only protect ourselves, but we can also change the business environment in such a way
So, yeah,
to make
that's
it more
right.
friendly.
So we want to start a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, association. For people, we can educate people, can have.
Yeah.
a
Hook you up with
legal
Phil Ting. You know Phil Ting?
Phil Ting, yeah, I know him, but he's on the other side though. But I would
he's-
love to talk to him, but he doesn't. He may not want to talk to me.
Republicans have two sides.
No, he's a Democrat. Phil Ting is a Democrat.
No, you sure?
Ding Youli, Phil Ting in San Francisco. He's a Democrat.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
him.
most of
I know
them.
I know
Most-
him.
most of them,
I have no problem talking with him. Actually, I have talked with him in the past, but I really doubt that he will have the courage to.
Now
to
I
be with
remember I
me.
saw you on TV. I think I remember I saw you on TV.
The Democratic Party people right now they are very afraid to be seen as with Republicans because then the party will punish them for helping me. So I don't have a problem meeting with Phil Ting, but he might have a problem meeting with me.
There was a guy named Campbell.
Tom Campbell, yes,
Yeah,
he's
he
a
was
Republican.
very,
He's a very good one.
wow, smooth that guy was.
He was the last
Smooth
Republican congressman in the Bay Area.
Who's that?
Tom Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
He was a Stanford professor
Yeah,
and ran for the U.S. Senate. Didn't make it, but he's a very, very articulate
Yes.
gentleman. Like you said, he's some very, very exceedingly nice person that people like to talk to him, and he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, Prop
And one of the
13,
things is,
Jarvis.
by the way, Phil Ting wanted to change Prop 13, so just so you know. Because he's an assessor in San Francisco, one of his main issues is to change Prop 13 so that you don't have that protection anymore. Now, I'm sure you have something to.
All right, we don't want that, right?
Yeah.
The divide is getting greater.
Well, there is something that might need to change in Prop 13, but I don't think they should take it all down because look at a state like New Jersey. Even though I'm not even talking about Texas, New Jersey have no Prop 13 protection. Their taxes are really high, and their housing market is never going to go too far.
Right.
Somebody wants to split California into
North and south.
3 or 4 states.
3, 4
think
states,
it's
maybe
gonna
2.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, the reason is that the Republican Party, well, in that case, you're going to have like 2 more Democratic U.S. senators. Why would the Republican want to do
They're
that?
getting rid of 415 electoral.
Oh, yeah. No, they're not getting rid of. They are just introducing another number because they ran out of numbers. So it's not 668 or something, 669. I think it probably should be 666 for San Francisco. You just see it's
Yeah. See, this country is so great. We can police ourselves. At least we're educated citizens. Self-policing, and then we don't have all this people abusing their weapons.
one of the things that
That's a big issue. And also this India is a big mess in New York.
oh yeah, that's the Indian diplomat. She told the U.S. visa office that she's paying her nanny $20 an hour, but she's actually paying her $3 a month an hour. So she falsified her visa. That's the main thing. It's not about the pay. The pay, because she's a diplomat, she can pay as little as she wants. But the irony is that she is on women's rights and low-income advocate. So she's paying her own people like $3 an hour.
the
Now,
Republican or?
no, she's an Indian. She's
I know.
from India. She's
Diplomat.
she's an Indian citizen.
Diplomat's wife.
It's an Indian
Now,
citizen.
as a Republican, I would say, look, if she's happy to take that job, $3, and live in U.S. in a nice mansion, I'm sure she should be allowed to do that. The big problem that she have is she falsified on her visa application for this employee that she's being paid $20 an hour. That's the big thing. I mean, look, if someone said, my first job in the U.S., I am paid $3.75 in the accountant office because I am underage and I'm like an apprentice. At the time, the legal minimum wage is $4.25. I remember this really well, and I get paid $3.75 because it's still legal, because it's one grade behind the full minimum wage. So I'm happy to have that job. I know it's an honest bargain. He said, would you want to work for $3.75? I said yes. So it's an honest thing. I learned something when I'm like 16 years old. I don't need.
I thought she had immunity.
No,
her
not
husband.
for
Husband.
lying on the visa application. That's what the U.S. says. Yes, you're a diplomat. If you kill someone, you rape someone, yes, you can go back to your own country. But you lie on the visa application before you come in. Therefore, your diplomatic status is void.
They found it.
Yes, you lie on your visa application. That means I don't even see you as a diplomat. You say, oh, I'm representing China, but you don't really represent it. That's the problem. So anyway, I'm sorry to take up your time, and
No, that's
we'd
all
love to
right.
talk to you some more in the future.
If somebody is talking to me about something I don't know, I want to hear it. I thought I knew everything.
Santa Claus.
Maybe not.
Well,
Okay, anyway, thank you.
Sir,
anyway.
Merry Christmas.
我打电话给你。